जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today is Monday. It is 24th of November. It is Kesha Masa or Margasisha Masa, Sukla Paksham, and it's Chavati Devi. So there are no extra events in the calendar, so we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Maitreya Muni speaking about the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu and how he has been lying in the devastating waters for 1,000 yuga cycles, and here all the living entities due to, so Prabhupada was mentioning in the purport, due to the sinful tendency of the living entities, and also he has looked at his body that is in the color of bluish. So so Chaturyuganam Sahasramapsu Swapan Swaya Udiritaya Swasikya. The Lord is in the Yoga Nidra during that time. And the Kalakya is the Karma Tantra and the Kalakya. So by the name of the Kala Shakti, Asadita Karma Tantra. And the living entities, they wanted to engage. It was time for them to come out and then to perform their activities, karmic activities, Karma Tantra. So Lokan and all the living entities, the total living entities. Apitan Dadrushe Swadehe. So and Supreme Personality of Godhead look at his body that it is in the bluish color. And Prabhupada mentioned. So here it is due to the living entities, the sinful tendency. So here it is said like due to this polluted mentality, and due to material sins, the aggregate combination of living entities appear to be bluish. Okay, so after Maitreya Muni saying that one, he is mentioning now the time has come, and all the living entities now they are in the subtle body. They are in the body of Garbhodak Sai Vishnu. Now, due to this karma tantra, so the mode of material mode of passion. So based on that, in due course of time, the living entities is the sprout from the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And then, so they will come in the form of the lotus flower. And the lotus flower, it slowly comes within that one. The lotus flower, it is by its effulgence, it will dry up the devastating water. It will dry up the devastating water. Okay, so likewise, Maitreya Muni saying that one. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 8, and verse number 13 and 14. तस्याद्ध सूक्ष्माभिनिविष्टदृष्टे अन्तर्गतो अर्धो रजसा तनीयान् गुणेन कालानुगतेन विद्धः शोष्यन्तदा विद्यत नाभिदेशात् तस्याद्ध सूक्ष्म अभिनिवृष्टदृष्टे tasya by his adha the subject sukshma subtle and abhinivrushta dustehe so of one whose attention was fixed and Lord is looking at his body, it is in the Lokan apitan dadrushe swadehe. It is bluish color. Now he is glancing on those living entities now. Tasyad sukshma binivishta drushte antargato adho rajisa taniyan antargataha. So antargataha is the um, internal, antargato adho the purpose. Rajasa Taniyan, by the mode of passion of material nature, Taniyan, it is very subtle. All the living entities now, unless they are completely purified, they are always with the three material modes of nature, which is in the body of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, in a subtle form. If they are completely purified, they would be in the spiritual planets. So now they are in the mode of passion. Otherwise, they cannot come out. Antargato Adho Rajasa Taniyan. Gunena Kalanu Gatena Viddaha. Gunena by the qualities. Kala Anugatena in due course of time. Kala Anugatena Viddaha. And they were agitated by the material modes of passion. Viddaha Sushan. And they are generating Tada Bidjata Nabideshad. They are sprouting from the abdomen of the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Pierced through the abdomen of the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Likewise, Maitreya Muni is saying, even when we see the children, when the mother is of 9 months and it is time for, he will also come out from the womb of a mother. Of course, but that is a small version in a materialistic version. But here, the totality of all the living entities, they are sprouting from the abdomen of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Nabideshat. तस्यार्ध सूक्ष्माभिनिविष्ट दृष्टे अंतर्गतो अद्धो रजसा तनीयान गुणेन कालानुगतेन विद्धः सूचन्ता विद्युत नाभिधेशात्. Translation: the subtle subject matter of creation on which the Lord's attention was fixed was agitated by the material mode of passion, and thus the subtle form of creation pierced through his abdomen. Okay, there is no purport for this shloka. And then further, so now it has come out, it is piercing through the lotus flower in the form of bud. It will sprout from the navel. And then further, Maitreya Muni is saying that the lotus flower, it dries up all the devastating water by its effulgence. Okay, so here, Sapadma Kosham Sahsodatistat Kalena Karma Pratibodhanena. Surochisa tat sarilam vishalam vidhyatayannarka yavatmayonihi. Sa padma koshaha, the bud of this lotus flower, sa padma koshaha, sahasa uditishtat, and suddenly uditishtat, it has appeared. So in the previous shloka, sushinta bhijitna bideshat, it is sprouts. What it is sprouting? Now here it is saying, sa padma koshaha, the bud of a lotus flower. Sahasa, and suddenly uditishtat, it has appeared. Kalena karma pratibodhanena, by time, and karma, fruitive activities, pratibodhanena, awakening. Now they are starting to act on their karmic activities, all the living entities. Kalena karma pratibodhanena. So just like when we sleep in the deep slumber, and even just for one night, whenever it is time, okay, I have to do so, go to the office, I need to do so many other things for my pleasure or something like that, immediately they will wake up and start doing the activities. Kalena karma pratibodhanena. Similarly, when they are coming from the deep slumber, which are at the moment they are situated in the body of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, after 1,000 yuga cycles, they are coming out in the form of a lotus flower. That lotus flower, and it has appeared. Kalena karma pratibodhanena swarochisa tat salilam vishalam. And swarochisha by its effulgence, swarochisha by its effulgence, tat salilam vishalam, that water of devastation. Salilam vishalam, it is the vast water of devastation. Vidyotayannarka ivatmayonihi Vidyota. So here, Vidyotayan illuminating. So that lotus flower is illuminating. Arkaha just like the sun. Vidyotayannarkaha Iva Atmayonihi just like a Atmayonihi generating from the personality of Vishnu. Okay, so this lotus flower, it is the Atma Yoni, generating from the personality of Vishnu. And later on, from that lotus flower, Brahma also comes out. So this lotus flower, it is Atma Yoni. Sa Padma Koshaha Sahasodatitat Kalena Karma Pratibodhanena Swarochishat Tat Salilam Vishalam Vijjotayannarka Yavatma Yonihi. Said translation, passing through this sum total form of the fruitive activity of the living entities took the shape of the bud of a lotus flower generated from the personality of Vishnu, and by his supreme will it illuminated everything like the sun and dried up the vast waters of devastation. Vast waters of devastation. So just again looking at this Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, where the lotus flower has come. Now here this lotus flower has blossomed here, where Brahma also came out, and then different planets have been created by Brahma. But in the beginning, it was just a bud coming out of the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. By the time there is a devastating what lots of this is called Garbhodaka water. But this is different. But here in the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, it is there is a guy, there is a lake. Again, it is described here. There is a lake. From that lake, this lotus flower has emanated from the navel. Nabhihram Bhuja Asit Brahma Visujampadihi Nabhihram. Nabhihram is the lake of the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu. It is described in the first canto, third chapter, second sloka. यस्यां वसयानस्य योगनिद्रां वितन्वतः नाभिसदां भुजात् आसीत् ब्रह्म विश्वसृजां पतिः. Okay, here there is a lake at the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. From that lake, this lotus flower has come, and then it has dried up the water, devastating water. Okay, so likewise, here Maitreya Muni is speaking to Vidura about how the living entities have started coming out of the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu's navel, and due to their uh, fruitive activity, to carry out their fruitive activities. Okay, so this is Sapadma Kosha Sasodhitat Kalena Karma Pratibodhanena. Sorochisatat Sirilam Vishalam Vijwatayanarka Yavatmayonihi. Okay, there is no purport for this shloka. Okay, so that is again going into the some part of this one. Here some Hastinapura women, they're also describing the pastimes of Krishna here specifically when Krishna was coming here from the Hastinapura to Dwaraka. At that time, they described the Lord. So they're speaking to among themselves. Savaikilayam Purushaha Puratano Ye Ek Asid Avishesh Atmani Agre Gunebhyo Jagadatmaneshware Nimilitatma Nishishupta Sektishu. Here the three to four around four shlokas they describe the activities of the Lord. They said, okay, can I request let me just can I request Gauringi Mataji to read about these four shlokas, Mataji, 21 to 24.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. They said, here he is the original personality of Godhead, as we definitely remember him. He alone excited before the manifested creation of the modes of nature, and in him only, because he is the Supreme Lord. All living beings merge, as if sleeping at night, their energy suspended. Text 22. The personality of Godhead, again, deciding to give names and forms to his parts and parcels. The living entities placed them under the guidance of material nature by his own potency. Material nature is empowered to recreate it. Text 23. Here is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose transcendental form is experienced by the great devotees who are completely cleansed of materials consciousness by dint of rigid devotional service and a full control of life and the senses. And that is the only way to uh, puri- purify extension. Text 24. Oh, dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literature by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, and annihilates the material world and yet remains unaffected. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here the living entities, so they are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of God. They are placed under the guidance of the material nature. Okay, and by material nature is empowered to recreate, and then further, um, so here they were also given this opportunity to perform devotional service, and then whoever is completely purified by the devotional service, and then who is control of the life and senses, they can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They can experience it, and that is the only way to purify. So this is so the Lord arranges for the living entities this devotional service to be available to for them to understand their real constitutional position. Okay, so this is how the kalena karma pratibodhanena. So now that when the time comes, they will come out from this, but whenever they are engaging in the karmic activities, they forget about the Supreme Personality of Godhead unless they recognize that they are in the miseries. Okay, so it's again there are different reflections from this one. Everything is by the karma bijam. Karma bijam. So that karma bija needs to be uh, it needs to be nullified. One should be completely freed of that karma. Okay, so that is okay. Again, when Brahma is about to create, he also mentions Sakarma Bijam Rajso Praktaha Prajaha Sisruksha Nedeva Društva Astad Visargavimukhastamidyam Avyaktvatmani Abhiveshitatma. So whenever he wanted to further create, Rajasa Uparaktaha, by the mode of passion, he is agitated to create this material world again, secondary creation. Prajaha Sisruksha Nedeva Društva. And then he started glorifying the Garbhodaksaya Vishnu for to get a power to recreate. Astad Visarga Abhimukaha Amidhya. Abhijam, Avyaktavatmani, Abhivesitatma. So he also wanted to create secondary creation. Okay, he is empowered personality. Lord Brahma is the empowered personality. Okay, so that is how the living entities come out from the in the form of a lotus flower, and the first living entity is Lord Brahma. Okay, these are the two shlokas. It is just only the lotus flower is coming out and drying up the devastating water, and living entities wanted to start their fruitive activities. तस्यार्धसूक्ष्माभिनिविष्टदृष्टे अन्तर्गतोऽर्धो तनीयान् गुणेन कालानुगतेन विद्धः शोषन् तदा विद्यते नाभिदेशात् स पद्मकोशः स सोदतिस्तत् कालेन कर्म प्रतिबोधनेन स्वरोचिषा तत्सलिलं विशालं विद्योतयन्नर्क इवात्मयोनिः. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so this is again to the bank. Okay, we shall move the further. So letter to Tamala Krishna, January 2nd, 1971, Surat. Again, I think this is again some kind of arrangements. So we shall skip this letter as well. And letter to Haigriva and Bombay, January 4th, 1971. Okay. So can I request any unallocated devotees to read Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhavati Sachi Mataji. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, so sorry. Please accept my humble obeisances. My mother is just beside me. I can't read. She keeps calling and disturbing. Sorry.
Thank you, Mataji. Nice to hear you. Usha Mataji, would you like to read, Mataji?
Thank you, brother. I can read. Thank you, brother. My dear Haigreva, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter written jointly with Rupanuga Prabhu, dated 30th December 1970 from Washington, D.C. I was very glad to learn that you have been cooperating all very nicely in the matter of overseeing the different centers which we have by the grace of Krishna established. It is most encouraging to know that you have found the standard of devotional service to be good. The new program to spread up Lord Chaitanya's message via the television, radio, and newspaper is welcome. It is now the work, work to uh, ventilate various topics for mass consumption via this media. So why not utilize them properly in Krishna's service? I am very much in favor of this program. Please try to develop this idea carefully. Our to, to our touring program here in India is going on, and I have just come from Allahabad, where we attended the Ardha Kumbh Mela celebration for 3 weeks. Our camp was very highly appreciated by all the big officials, and they have said that ours was the most successful presentation. Even the member of many Mayavadi camps had to appreciate our movement's activities, and they have joined our Krishna also, even though I strongly defeat all their arguments in daily lectures. One influential man of the Allahabad community has expressed it that never before have we heard uh, personalism so strongly preached. Now we are registered in India and we have got our tax exemption permit. Our address of Bombay ISKCON is given above. The building is in the most light section of Bombay and the rent is rupees 3,000 per month. I have been expecting some further words from you and Kirtanananda Maharaj also. But since I have been traveling sometimes by mail is delayed for some time. I have received one letter from Rupanuga and his initial report from London is alright. I am depending upon my representatives, the GBC, to cooperate fully to maintain and improve the standard of our centers and increase the number as far as possible. We have got invitation from all over the world, and one boy has uh, beseeched us to come to Jerusalem, where he wants to help us open a branch of ISKCON. Regarding the proposal for distributing uh, fif- no, 5 lakhs back to Godhead magazines monthly, I do not think that it is enough. I have already uh, hinted to Rupanuga. Anyway, so far the initial down payment to Dai Nippon is concerned, you may certainly borrow the money from size contribution, but first you must give a practical plan how you will repay the loan. Let me know the scheme for repaying the money borrowed from size contribution, and if it is alright, then you may go ahead and order from Dai Nippons the larger quantity of magazines. That will be very nice. I was very happy to see the pictures of our new Petersburg center. So everything is very encouraging. I expect to return to USA by the end of March. By the benediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and my Guru Maharaj, this movement has got very great potency for rectifying the troubled situation of the whole world. Let us work to the best of our capacity to fulfill this mission of the Lord, and surely that will be the best for all concerned. Please offer my blessing to your good wife and Vaishnava son. Hope this will make you in good health. Your ever well wisher, Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami, Swami Sri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, you want to highlight? Hare Krishna, Mataji.
There is a long letter, but there's so many good takeaway points also, and then reflection. So, Prabhupada writing to Hegriva about that uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, how we can spread it. So it's all right by television, radio, newspaper. Nowadays, then we can spread that by the way via media also. So many ways to spread the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, and then also Prabhupada is encouraging to distribute books, magazines, and that all other literature. So that is the main now that Prabhupada's books. mission is starting, and yes, spreading the Krishna consciousness, spreading the book, and give the Krishna consciousness to the people. And the other thing, Prabhu, the Prabhupada is mentioned, but the other Kumbh Mela and that camp was very fully successful. And then Mayavadi also that Prabhupada said, then nobody like strongly uh, preaching that the like all activities. Then when he Allahabad got Kumbh Mela, so the ISKCON there is a ISKCON that things movement and activities it goes very nicely, and that yeah, that nobody defeated for him when he was preaching during the lecture about that Krishna consciousness. So, and other things was Prabhupada is mentioning about the Bombay's uh, things, and yeah, Bombay's building, and then his rent is 3,000 per month. So it's like have to be not getting delay or something as far as I understood. Prabhu. So I'm not sure. And then he's saying about that so increasing the number of that centers. So the one boy came and then he tried to come from the Jerusalem. He came from Jerusalem and he wants to open the center or branch for ISKCON over there maybe. And yeah, so Prabhupada wants to do distribution to 5 lakhs back to Godhead medicine copies monthly. So that is not enough. And then he's asking about the Daimipol, like a contribution for the site for contribution. The borrowed. So I'm not sure about that. So yeah, the main things is takeaway is the spreading how to spread the Krishna consciousness with any things. Prabhu. And then he likes to very much picture about that Petersburg Center. So that is encouraging. Very nice. Yeah, Prabhu. That's yeah. So the benediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then Guru Maharaj moment. So it's got very great potency to spread the. I think. Yeah, Prabhu. I could not explain very much, Prabhu. So thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for nicely summarizing this. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter?
Uh, Prabhupada is thinking ahead, and also when he's clearly demonstrating to Hayagriva if he is just wanted to take Sai's money, okay, what exactly the repayment plan. So he's thinking ahead to have the best financial situation for the center, and he's highlighting that practical approach for the money repayment also, which is a good thing. For any seva activity or our personal life or this material life. So that point I just wanted to highlight, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Mataji. You explained so nicely. Summary.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other comments? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Yes, the main concept is reaching the Krishna consciousness movement to each and every person of this entire world. Okay, that is the main motto. So it has got a potency. Prabhupada is mentioning that it has got a potency because it is the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it will go on. It will not be checked by anyone. It will keep going on. Okay. And blessings of Guru Maharaj as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are there. to rectify the troubled situation of the whole world. So what we need to do, just best of our capacity to fulfill the mission of Lord, and surely that will be the best for all concerned. We do not have to introduce new things. We simply carry on the message simply as it is. That's all. When we mix up with these things, our new ideas, then with the different things, then it may be deviated. It needs to be simple and straightforward. We can take a different plans, but we cannot mix our ideas to add or something new messages into the Srila Prabhupada instructions or Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening at 8 p.m. we have got teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Okay, that is our upcoming events. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Okay, we shall conclude. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna conscious day, everyone.
Hare Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol, Prabhu, Hare Bol. Have a Krishna conscious day, everyone.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya